Hi, it's John from Android Addicts, and today we're going to be looking at the Samsung case lineup for the Galaxy S20. We're going to go through them in this order, so we'll start off with the standard cases, and then we'll go on to the smart cases towards the end. Okay, so we'll get the official clear cover out of the way first. This costs £17 on the Samsung website, and it's your most basic cover you can get. Right, so here we see it's got a protective sticker here, which I won't take off, but that can be removed. It's fully flexible. All sides are flexible, there's no hard sides here. And well, that's pretty much it really. It's a very basic clear cover. So let's just slip it on. Fits on very nicely. I will take that off actually. And you can see your phone colour straight through there if you have a nice coloured phone. Here I just have the standard black. It's got a nice feel to it actually. It doesn't feel too slippery. It feels like it would stick in your hand pretty well. So that's quite a nice case. The buttons, nice feedback on those when they get pressed, as you can hear. The cutouts all appear to be in the right place, and well, you'd certainly hope so coming from Samsung. They're all lined up perfectly. Okay, so we will just check the wireless charging still works through the case, which it does. And now the wireless power share. Which it still does. And then we'll just check that the lips of this case do actually protect the screen. And also, you can see from the camera bump there, slightly raised above it. So you can just about see my fingers through there. So the screen is protected. Now, whilst flat down, you're still going to get the camera bump issue. So that's the clear cover. It's got a nice feel to it. It feels a tiny bit cheap for £17, but I suppose you're paying for the name really. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so next up we have the protective standing cover. This comes in at £29 recommended retail, or about £25 on Amazon. It does come in silver as well as this black cover, but I thought the silver looked a bit cheap and nasty, so I went for the black. This one here even comes with instructions. I think it's going to be pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, put the phone in and then flip the stand out. Not sure that needed to be included really. Okay, so this is a hard shell. The sides are hard, you can't squeeze them together. And it's got a sort of almost rubberish texture on the sides here to help with the grip. Not that I think you'd need it with this. I mean, this is very, very grippy on the back. It's got a sort of meshy type material on the inside here. And it's got a nice little Made in Korea sticker inside as well. So, like I say, this is a very hard case, so let's pop our phone in, see how it looks. Okay. It doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to look, to be honest. I thought this sort of grill effect here would be a bit ugly, but it's actually not too bad. The Samsung logo on the stand is not too bad either. The actual stand itself feels a bit flimsy to me. Not quite as bad as the Spigen Tough Armor case, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. Let's just go around the case and make sure everything's in order, which it is indeed. Cutouts and cutout for the ambient mic there. The buttons, they feel very nice actually. I'd say they're nicer than the clear cover that we looked at previously. Okay, now we'll just check. The camera bump here is completely protected, so we know that we can pop our phone down and it shouldn't wobble, which it doesn't, which is great. We'll just check the lips of the case as well. These are quite a lot more raised. And of course, we'll just check that the screen is protected, which it certainly is, as you can see. So now it'll be interesting to see if wireless charging still works through this, because it is quite thick. So that's working fine. So we'll just have a look at the power share as well. And that's still working too. So we'll just get a couple of angles of this whilst it is actually in this mode. It's not too much of a steep angle. Let's just have a look down here, and we can compare this to the Spigen Tough Armor case with its little flappy stand here. So they're about the same angle, but I'd certainly say the Samsung stand is much better. Now we've got the Hybrid S here from Spigen. Let's just compare it with that. I'd still prefer this one, I think, in comparison to the Samsung, because the stand just feels a lot more solid. But compared to the tough arm of the Spigen, with its little flappy stand, this one is definitely better, because it has a spring-loaded feature which keeps it back in place. So there we go, that is the protective standing cover. Okay, next up we're going to move on to the Samsung Silicone cover. This was actually out of stock on the Samsung website when I ordered it. It came in at £24 from Samsung, or about £19 on Amazon. I've put links to all of these in the description below, so feel free to check them out. Again, we've got another set of instructions and some polystyrene in here for some reason. It's really not necessary, Samsung. But let's look at the actual cover itself. Wow, this has a really nice feel to it actually. Nice sort of textured silicone on the back. It's really not slippery at all. And I'd say that's probably pretty fingerprint proof. Now the inside's quite interesting as well. It's a sort of different shade of turquoise duck egg blue with a Samsung logo printed on the inside. That's obviously going to hold your phone in there quite nicely. The sides of it are reasonably stiff. Obviously the bottom protection is non-existent here. The sides are stiff at the buttons as well, which is good. So let's pop it in and see how it looks. Okay, a nice fit. Certainly makes your phone look nice, if nothing else. Now the camera isn't protected very much at all in this one, if at all. There's maybe 0.5 millimeter or less of a bulge coming out of this case, which you should be able to see down here. So very fine protection on the camera on this one. The buttons do feel very nice though. And the cutout here, obviously nothing's gonna mess up there, and we've got the ambient mic coming out nicely. So let's just check the lip as well. This is very fine amount of protection here, but let's just see. Is the screen protected? Now I would say just about, although you can just about see my fingers here. So it is just about protected, but it's a very fine line between being protected and not being protected at all. Now obviously this will work with the wireless charger, and it will also work fine with the reverse wireless charger. So yeah, certainly the silicone cover is the nicest looking one. And it does actually come away quite easily near the buttons, not around the sides of the phone. But yeah, the buttons section here isn't actually that well protected. But obviously this isn't for protection, this is just for, you want to sort of put an extra skin on your phone and just keep it sort of free from dirt and grime. But don't forget, this camera is not going to be protected very much at all. So that's the silicone cover. Comes in multiple colours. I went for this dark blue colour because I think that looks the nicest for the Ultra. Okay, next up we have the leather cover, which is one of the most expensive sort of non-smart covers that they do. Obviously it's genuine leather, so it's going to be more expensive. It's about £44 on Samsung.com and £33 on Amazon.com. So make of that what you will. I went for the brown cover here because, well, leather is normally a brown colour. So let's have a look inside. Again with the instructions, which are not required. So how does this feel? Well, it's a nice sort of suede, leathery effect on the inside there, and the outside itself with this leather backing certainly feels nice. It is a bit smooth, sort of almost golden on the buttons here. But yes, you've got the Samsung logo here printed out or stamped into the back of the leather here. Smell test, yep, smells like leather. And we've got the Samsung print on the inside. So this is a more luxurious version of the silicone cover basically, as the cutout. Obviously at the bottom, it's not protecting your bottom of the phone. And again, the camera lip is not protected. Let's check the buttons. Buttons feel very nice. They don't pull away as easily as the silicone cover ones, which is good. Obviously the leather is a bit more hardy. Let's check the screen. This, I don't know if it's just my eyes, but it looks a bit higher up actually than the silicone cover. You can see the protection of the screen, so you can quite happily put your phone face down. Let's just try leather charging, wireless charging. That's working fine. And reverse wireless charging is also working. So yes, that's the leather case there. It looks nice, but it is really expensive. That's the only problem with it. So if you can find it any cheaper than about £30, then you're doing well. But yeah, that's the Samsung leather cover. Okay, I'm going to move on to the smart LED cover now. This comes in at £49 from Amazon.com. Again, very expensive. It's a bit over the top really, but it is a sort of, it's like the leather and silicone covers, but this one has LEDs built into the back, which can show notifications and do the sort of ambient mood lighting type effect. So I'm going to pop this on. Like I say, it's not currently in stock on Amazon, but I'm guessing it'll be around £30 or £40 when it is in stock. I will put the link in the description when it does appear on the site. Again, we get our quick start guide here. Now this was the equivalent case that I was using on my S20 Plus for the last year, and I quite liked it because it was very sort of thin, unobtrusive, and obviously the cool little light function was quite nice. Obviously the novelty does wear away, but it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? So here we have a nice sort of suede, smooth effect here, nice material. Got some details here about the actual input of the voltage and current that it uses. Obviously it uses NFC to work. It's a nice matte finish compared to my S10 one here, which was a sort of glossy finish, but you can see this lasted, considering it was on for a year, this lasted pretty well. It doesn't really show scratches very well, although you can see there were a few little dings in the back there. But overall that did really well over the last year, so I was quite happy with that. So hopefully this one will be just as good. So basically when you pop this in your phone, nice and snug, you should get a notification, which we seem to be getting here. So LED cover is attached. Open the LED cover app to set other cover functions. So click start on here. Yeah, I'll agree to that. Turn off the optional marketing. Okay, it will verify your phone, and then it downloads some additional content for you. Okay, so this is the new theme it's applying to your phone. It's only taking its time. And there we have our new theme with the sort of LED icons in the background. And we should have LED cover app here. So if we go into the app, we'll just have a quick look at the different options we get. Okay, so with the mood lighting, we get the option to have it on unlimited, which was previously not available on the S10 Plus. So as long as you have your wireless power share turned off, you should then get the mood lighting on the back of the phone. Now the other options you get here are the different LED icons. So we have a smile, a wink, surprised, sad, heart, tulip, bird, pulse, infinity, pet blob, my good old favourite one, the dog, an elephant, gift box, a beer mug, or coffee. So basically when you turn one of these on and pop your phone down, you see the icon appear on the back of the phone. Let's just select one of the other ones and do the little heart. So quite a cool sort of feature to have. I guess it's only really to show off to your friends that your phone has different icons, but it can be useful if you get a call or a message. It does pop up on the back here, which I will now demonstrate. Okay, so we'll just test to see what happens when a phone call comes in. Now you can't answer or do anything with this, it's just a picture. You see the missed call notification there, and we'll just do the SMS as well. That's our new text message coming in. So those are the sort of smart features of this case. Now obviously the protection on the sides here is non-existent for the buttons or for the cutouts of the charger and speaker grill. A little bit of protection at the top. So overall it's not for people who drop their phone frequently, it's just for people who want a slim case with, you know, a bit of functionality out of the ordinary. Now the screen is protected, as you can see through here, just about. It's a bit like the silicone and leather covers here. It's just about enough to take it off the face of a table, but the good thing is that your phone's camera bump is now non-existent because of the additional thickness that this adds to the back. So we're going to test wireless charging. It still works. And now we're going to test out the wireless power share. Which also works. So that's the LED cover, £49. Again, a bit expensive, but has a few cool features. So let's move on to the next smart case and see what we get there. Okay, next up we have the Clear View cover. Now this case comes in at £49 or about £41 on Amazon. and it basically features a window here which displays notifications whilst protecting your screen. So think of it as you're always on display, like we have here, where we get notifications and time, etc. But instead of being there, it's going down the screen on the side instead. Let's have a quick look. I went for the grey option here just for a bit of a change. It's nice to see there's no instructions here. Oh, spoke too soon. Got some instructions. Pop those back in there. Okay, so first impressions are this is a bit slippery. It feels like a sort of an old book cover almost. The sides don't offer much protection except for this side, which has a sort of TPU plastic, which would certainly help with gripping the phone. Inside has a nice sort of felt cover, and obviously the part that's going to be touching your screen is also nice and soft. I'm not quite sure what this here is for. It could well be that's what detects when this specific case is applied. Might be some tag in there. Anyway, let's pop it in, see how it looks. Before I do that, I will just double check actually how rigid the sides are, and as you can hear, they are rigid, so it should help a bit in a drop. Okay, so here's the cover on. Now obviously your phone automatically goes into this special mode for this particular case. So think of that what you will. There's nothing holding the sort of opening of the case closed, which is a bit of a shame. In a previous Spigen case I had, they had a little tiny magnet on the side, which it looked a bit silly because you had to actually glue it on yourself, but it did mean it would keep closed when it was shut. So we can see there's no protection for the bottom of your phone here or the sides yet again. The camera, however, is slightly protected by a bit of a raise on the top there, which should mean it's reasonable, but it does still actually wobble a bit in this corner. So obviously the features of this are that you can click on an icon. I've got an email, I'll click on it, open your phone, and it will go straight to that application, which is obviously no different to the actual always on display here, where you click and go straight to the application in question. So if you just want something that will protect your screen and enable you to have the always on display still, which is quite a nice feature to have, then this certainly looks nice. It's it's got a nice feel to it. Like I say, it's a bit slippery, so that isn't you're gonna always have to grip onto this, and obviously when you're using it to text, I don't find that too uncomfortable because it's quite thin. You can see here it's quite a thin fold of the case, so you don't get a big bulge coming out the side here, making it hard to hold. So I could quite happily still text with this case on. Okay, one additional feature which I nearly forgot to show you was when you receive a call with the Smart Clearview cover. You'll see you get the incoming call notification, and you have the ability to accept or reject the call. So if we accept the call here, we get a little timer, and then we can then hang up the call. Obviously we know the screen's protected, so there's no point really looking at that, but we'll check the wireless charging. Wireless charging is working, and we will check wireless power share. Which is still working too, so that's great. Everything still works through this, and as you can see here, Samsung logo on the back. It's hard to describe the material for this. other than saying it feels like an old book, I don't know really how else to describe it. But it does look nice. It's a nice looking case, and I do like the fact your screen is protected at the same time as having the always on display. Okay, last but not least is the Samsung Smart LED View Cover. So this one comes in at £54, which is hideously expensive, but it does have additional features over the previous two smart covers that we've seen. So let's have a look at this one. Okay, so very similar design to the Clearview case here. It does have a few additional features such as a card slot here, which is nice. Other than that, I'd say they're pretty much the same case, apart from... No, I'd say they're almost identical in material as well. But this one does have some additional features, hence this is actually a bit thicker than the Smart Clearview case. Okay, so we'll pop the phone in. Okay, so because we put the case on with the wireless power share on, it didn't actually pick up the new case that we had applied. So it's now asking to download some additional features for the LED view cover. You can create your own LED icons, set them as your notification icons. So we go to Settings, Advanced Features, Accessories, LED View Cover. We're just going to click Download. Let's start that off. Okay, so we should now hopefully be able to close the case, and there we go. We have the time up here on the front here. Let's see what additional features we get inside with the icon editor. Okay, so these are the pre-installed icons, and you can obviously set these icons to appear when certain applications notify you or certain people call you. So you can have different ones for each person or for each application, and you can actually create your own one. So let's just try. Writing hello. Save that one. There we are. My lovely drawing has appeared on the screen. Now you do also get the option to either answer or decline the call, which is quite nice. So I'm sure you could have hours of fun designing icons. Let's just add another one. You can see all the different features you get. I mean, you don't get a huge amount of choice to do much, but you've got a little bit of space to work in here. Okay, so we're just going to see how many cards we can actually fit in this slot here. So I'm guessing we can get at least one in there. I don't know if you can hear that, but you can hear the sound of sort of sticky tape almost peeling away as I put two in there. So I'd suggest you only put one card in there. You'd obviously just put your bank card in there or your credit card, and that fits in quite nicely without any problems at all. So yeah, nice case. Slight bit of grip on the sides, stop it falling out your hands, but as was with the other Smart View case, it is a slightly slippery case, so you would always need to keep a bit of a grip on it. But it is nice to have the function of the screen, which can be used for the notifications. As you obviously will already know, the screen is protected. Wireless charging, working fine, and reverse wireless charging if I press the right button. Is also working fine. So I hope you found this video useful. I've put links to all the cases down in the description below, so let me know which one you're going to go for, if you're going to go for one. If you want one with the best protection, I'd go for the standing cover, which has the added benefit of the kickstand. That is definitely the hardest and most rugged of the cases. If you want screen protection, obviously go for one of these to put the flip cover on top. Or if you just want a slip-on case which offers reasonable protection but doesn't add too much weight, I'd probably go for the silicone cover over the other ones, which obviously too expensive and a bit too cheap looking. Let me know which one of these you're going to pick up if you're going to get one, and I will see you in the next video.